So guys, there's an update on ILR and I want to quickly put this date on your radar, February the 2nd. If you're in the UK and hope to get your ILR soon, this is something that you should at least be aware of. My name is Tochi and welcome to my channel. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up as you're watching so YouTube can recommend it to more people. Kindly share it to everyone that benefits from this or that needs to hear this, and to all my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. You're welcome back to today's video. If you're yet to subscribe, honestly, I don't know why, or you're just coming across my channel for the first time, please click on the subscribe button right now and you won't regret it. So guys, I want to just update you guys on what's going on with the ILR because I'm sure everybody really wants to know what the outcome will be or what the final decision is going to be, okay? And we're gradually getting there. So this is from the House of Commons Library and it's an e-petition relating to indefinite leave to remain. The e-petitions protect legal migrants, do not implement the 10-year ILR proposal, and keep 5-year ILR and restrict access to benefits for new ILR holders. So apparently there are two petitions. One is saying, let's protect legal migrants, do not implement the 10-year ILR routes or ILR proposal, let it remain at 5 years. And there's another one that says keep 5-year ILR for those in the UK and you can now restrict access to benefits to new ILR holders. You know, so they're just saying that, okay, if it's the benefits or access to benefits that is the problem, maybe you have calculated the number of people that are going to get ILR in the coming days, because if you read through the proposal and everything that the government proposed, you will see that they emphasized on the number of people that are going to get ILR and then the number of people obviously that will now start getting benefits. For legal migrants, you don't have access to public funds. In fact, on your visa is boldly written no recourse to public funds. But once you now get your indefinite leave to remain, you can now access benefits. We know when it comes to benefits, there's a lot of sentiment, there's a lot of things around that because people don't really understand how it works. To come to the UK as a student, you have to show proof of funds that you can take care of yourself, maintain yourself throughout the duration of your study. And if you're in the UK as a skilled worker or on a health and care worker visa, you do not have access to public funds, okay? You're supposed to maintain yourself and your family with the money you make from your job or working from your job. So my point is there was just a lot around that benefits and everything. So migrants are now saying if the benefits is the problem, we've always done without it, okay? Why do you think it's going to change now? So a lot of people signed the petition to say it's just keep your benefits, but please give us ILR after 5 years because we worked for it and this is the promise you made. We came on the promise that we're going to get ILR after 5 years. So this will be debated on the 2nd of February 2026. I hope we all are going to watch that. I hope everyone have also written to their MPs as well as a follow-up on this because your voice must be heard. Our voices must be heard. So the background, like I already tried to establish, was that in May 2025, the government published a white paper called Restoring Control over the Immigration System. And in this white paper, they proposed so many changes, which we already know, including to make it more difficult to qualify for permanent residency. And then recently, the government now came out to say it's going to affect those already in the UK as well. And that was like, bam, how, why, you know? So it took everybody by shock. Even though after this proposal, this white paper came out, BBC released an article saying that it's going to affect a lot of people already in the UK. But we're just we didn't take it too seriously because, okay, it's BBC. Governments have not come out to say anything. Any information on Govt.uk is what we bank on because it means that it is official. So we're like, okay, governments have not said anything on that, so let's just ignore. Okay, it's BBC. But then the shocking moment now came when government now announced the same thing. In fact, they even shocked us the more that some people are now going to get after 15 years and all of that. But that consultation was ongoing and they asked us to contribute and lend our voices. And the Home Office Secretary also said that this new proposal is expected to come live by April of 2026, but we're just still waiting to hear more on that, or waiting on the government to tell us what their decisions are. But for now, what we know, or why I'm making this video, is just to let you guys know that there's going to be a debate. Okay, so what we want to understand is when petitions like this are signed and it reaches the threshold, it must be discussed. Okay, it must be talked about and debated on in the House of Parliament. So this is what is happening now. These two petitions, they are eligible to be discussed, and they've set a date for it on the 2nd of February, and it's going to be at 4:30 p.m. So guys, stay tuned, turn on your TVs and make sure you follow up to know, like, that will also give you an idea, even though that's not when the final decision will be made. That's not the point, but at least it just shows that our voices were heard and they're going to talk about it. And if you listen to it, it will also give you a direction to understand, or what's in the minds of people. What do they think about this thing? Like, you just have an idea of what's going on and what's likely to happen. And the government might also respond to that petition as well, or to that debate as well. So fingers crossed. And you guys, trust me that whatever happens, I'll let you guys know. Okay, at present, like I have said, the standard qualifying period for ILR is 5 years, but the government now came to announce that they want to change it, and that the baseline qualifying period for many migrants would now be 10 years, right? But some people will be able to qualify sooner, while others would take longer. The qualifying periods will now depend much more on each individual circumstance. So whether you're a doctor, a nurse, a teacher, whether you're on global talent visa, whether you're earning a high amount of money, your salary threshold, whether you're volunteering, you know, all those things will now determine when you will get ILR. So with this thing now, it's just saying that two people that came into the UK at the same time, in the same year, in fact, on the same day, might likely not get ILR at the same time. Everything will now be based on each individual's circumstance and other things like that. Now, there's something that is very interesting here, and I don't know if you guys noticed it. I want to also hear what you think. Remember the last time that a debate was had in the House of Parliament as well? Something like this, the same thing about ILR. You know, that debate was held on the 8th of September, I think. There were two petitions. One was calling that the government should leave ILR as it is. It was also after the white paper. Skilled workers went on to also sign a petition and say, please leave this 5-year ILR for us. Leave it for those already in the UK. Leave them out. And then those on the Hong Kong BNO visas also signed the same petition and said, please leave us at 5 years, right? Leave ILR for us at 5 years, people in this category. And the two were also discussed in the House of Parliament. But guess what? When the government now came out to make the announcement that blew up everywhere, these Hong Kong BNO visa holders were exonerated. They left them at 5 years and said they're going to leave them at 5 years. But then they now changed for skilled workers and just picked out different people that will still stay in 5 years. So this category, people that have the Hong Kong BNO visa, was exonerated. Like they said it categorically that they're going to have ILR after 5 years. They're going to continue getting ILR after 5 years in the UK, right? And I remember that debate vividly because I watched it and I could see that a lot of MPs, I don't know if that was what affected it or if that debate had any effect on why the government made the decision. I don't know. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just telling you what I observed. And I'm sure if you had watched that debate also, you would have noticed the same thing. Like if there were 10 MPs, for example, 8 spoke in favor of these people, like compared to people that spoke in the favor of skilled workers. Of course, a lot of MPs also spoke, but there was more arguments for this category of people. And it was quite interesting to see, because I remember saying that it just shows that a lot of them actually wrote to their MPs. Like that's why when things like this come up, we shouldn't just fold our hands and just say, oh, whatever happens, or resign to fate. No, let's also learn to speak out as well, because your voice matters. So which immigration categories will be affected by the settlement changes? Most of them. It says even if some groups remain eligible for permanent residency after 5 years, people in those groups, such as stay-at-home parents with no income, might be unable to meet the toughened minimum requirements. Like, this is scary. Even though we should not like panic, we should just relax and wait. But reading this now, it's like, how? Why? Anyway, let's continue. So the question they also asked, would people already in the UK be affected? And the answer is yes, because that's what the government said, right? We propose to apply these changes to everyone in the country today who has not already received indefinite leave to remain. This would mean that those who are due to resettlement in the coming months and years will be subject to the new requirement for end settlement as soon as our immigration rules have changed. The Home Secretary told MPs that the immigration rules will begin to change from April of 2026. And that is not strange, because we know that April always brings about different changes in the UK. That's when most changes take effect in the UK. So this is subject to the final outcome of the consultation, which invites views on whether there should be transitional arrangement to exempt some people already in the UK. The accompanying press release suggests that this might be considered for borderline cases. Now claiming benefits following permanent residence. Indefinite leave to remain currently gives people broadly the same rights as British citizens, such as the right to work without restrictions and claim benefits if necessary. So the government's consultation floods the idea that those granted settlement might no longer gain access to the welfare system. As a result, they would stay on no recourse to public funds, with the right to claim benefits restricted to British citizens. So once you get ILR, you still not be able to claim benefits until after you become a British citizen. So now moving on to the petitions. Protect legal migrants. Do not implement the 10-year ILR proposal. The petition urges the government to scrap its plan to increase the standard qualifying period to indefinite leave to remain, arguing that legal migrants, especially care workers, follow the rules and build lives here under the 5-year promise, and that they deserve fairness, not shifting rules. So the petition was open Saturday, May 2025 and November 2025, and received 107,000 signatures. In its response to the petition given on 4 December 2025, the government stated that the end settlement consultation is seeking views on whether the increase in settlement qualifying period would apply to people already in the UK. No decision has been taken at this point. While a final decision may not have been taken, the consultation document proposes that the increase would apply to people already in the UK. So the second one is keep the current 5-year route to ILR and restrict access to benefits for new ILR holders. Now, the petition states that the government's plan is unfair and will disrupt people's plans, families, and financial stability. The petition urges the government to keep the current 5-year route for everyone, but instead restrict access to benefits for new ILR holders to protect fairness and stability. So the petition is open until May 2026 and had received 232,000 signatures at the time of writing this. In its response to this petition, given on 4th of December 2025, the government noted that the consultation already suggests restrictions on benefits for new ILR holders. In addition to changes to the rules on qualifying for ILR in the first place, it does not address the suggestion that such a change happen instead of changes to ILR eligibility. So there's just been a lot of comments on this since it was released, because there was a lot of uproar, outbursts since the announcement was made. And some of them is that, if you do this, that it will make the UK more restrictive than most other high-income countries, that the impact on immigration number is likely to be limited. They also said that it would come off as a trade-off between the financial benefits of higher immigration fees for the government and the negative effect on integration and well-being of migrants. He also said it's completely out of line, most of our counterparts, and will create a near perpetual state of insecurity. The General Secretary of the Public Service Union, UNISM, has also described the government's plan to introduce a 15-year route to settlement for social care workers as devastating, as without them, care services would collapse. So there's just been a lot around this, and I'm sure the government is watching, they're listening, they're seeing this, and hopefully the results at the end of the day would not be too bad. Okay, it would be one that would be considered to be fair. So yes, guys, this is exactly what's happening, and that's why I've come to update you all on what's going on. Whatever the outcome of this is, or after the debate, I'll come to also share with you guys if you're not able to watch it, because I'm here for you, don't worry. I also try to update you guys on what went on there, the observations that were made and all the points that were raised and everything. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I want to hear what you guys think about everything in the comment section. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye bye.